1. We're diving into a classic American muscle car that's up for grabs on Craigslist, a 1973 Ford Torino. This beauty is being offered at a price of just $3,000, which could be a steal for the right buyer. Now let's be real here. The seller is upfront about the fact that this Torino needs some serious TLC. It runs and moves, but it's definitely a restoration project. If you're not ready to put in the work, this might not be the car for you. The ad mentions that it will need to be trailered or towed, so keep that in mind if you're considering making a move. But here's the thing. If you're a true car enthusiast, the idea of bringing this classic back to life might be exactly what you're looking for. The '73 Torino is a piece of American automotive history, with its sleek lines and powerful presence on the road. And with a clean Arizona title, you can be confident that you're getting a car with a clear history. Of course, restoring a car like this is no small feat. It's going to take time, money, and a whole lot of elbow grease. But if you're up for the challenge, the end result could be truly spectacular. Imagine cruising down the highway in a beautifully restored Torino, turning heads everywhere you go. So if you're a car lover with a passion for classic American muscle, this 1973 Ford Torino might just be the project you've been waiting for. It's not going to be easy, but the rewards could be well worth it. And at just $3,000, it's a price that's hard to beat. 2. We've got a real treat for you, a 1985 Chevrolet El Camino that's up for grabs on Craigslist. This beauty is being offered at a price of $8,200, and from what the seller is telling us, it might just be worth every penny. First off, let's talk about the condition of this El Camino. The seller describes it as excellent, and based on the details provided, it's easy to see why. This is an Arizona car with just 110,000 original miles on the odometer. For a vehicle that's nearly 40 years old, that's pretty impressive. But here's where it gets really exciting. About 12,000 miles ago, the seller's dad, who was the previous owner, had a new Crate 350 V8 engine installed. That means this El Camino is packing some serious power under the hood, and with an automatic transmission, it should be a breeze to drive. The seller also notes that everything on the car works, including the air conditioning. That's a big plus, especially if you're planning on using this as a daily driver or taking it on long road trips. Aesthetically, the El Camino is looking sharp with its blue paint job, and with a clean and clear title, you can be confident that you're getting a vehicle with no hidden surprises. Now, the asking price of $8,200 might seem a bit steep at first glance, but when you consider the excellent condition of this El Camino, the new engine, and the fact that it needs nothing, according to the seller, it starts to look like a pretty fair deal. Of course, as with any used car purchase, it's always a good idea to get a thorough inspection done before making a final decision. But based on what we're seeing here, this 1985 Chevrolet El Camino looks like it could be a real gem. 3. We're taking a closer look at a 1978 Chevrolet Monte Carlo that's been listed for sale on Craigslist. This classic coupe is up for grabs at a price of $8,200, but before you get too excited, let's dive into the details. First things first, the seller is upfront about the fact that this Monte Carlo is a project car. That means it's going to need some work to get it back to its former glory. The ad mentions that the car is in good condition, but it's important to keep in mind that this is subjective and may not tell the whole story. Under the hood, you'll find a 6-cylinder engine paired with an automatic transmission. The car is rear-wheel drive, which is pretty standard for a classic coupe like this. The odometer reads just 1,000 miles, but without more context, it's hard to say whether that's accurate or if the odometer has rolled over. Now, here's where things get a bit tricky. The seller notes that the title for this Monte Carlo is missing. That's definitely something to be aware of, as it can make the process of transferring ownership and registering the car more complicated. It's not necessarily a deal breaker, but it's definitely something to consider before making an offer. Aesthetically, the Monte Carlo Landau is a real head-turner. With its classic coupe styling and distinctive Landau roof, it's sure to turn heads wherever it goes. But again, as a project car, it's likely going to need some cosmetic work to really shine. The asking price of $8,200 might seem a bit high for a car that needs work and has a missing title. However, the seller has listed the price as OBO, or best offer, which suggests that there may be some wiggle room for negotiation. At the end of the day, this 1978 Chevrolet Monte Carlo Landau is a classic car with a lot of potential. But it's not a turnkey solution, and it's going to take some time, effort, and money to get it back to its best. If you're up for the challenge and have a soft spot for classic coupes, it might be worth taking a closer look. But if you're looking for a car that's ready to hit the road right away, this might not be the best choice. 4. We've got a real blast from the past, a 1966 Plymouth Fury that's up for grabs on Craigslist. This classic beauty is being offered at a price of $5,000, and from what the seller is telling us, it sounds like it could be a whole lot of fun. First off, let's talk about the condition of this Fury. The seller describes it as good, which is always a positive sign. However, it's important to note that the odometer is broken and has rolled over, so the actual mileage is unknown. That's something to keep in mind if you're considering making an offer. Under the hood, you'll find a powerful 8-cylinder engine that's sure to get your heart racing. The seller mentions that the top end of the motor was rebuilt just 1 year ago by Littleton Auto Repair, which included a new cam and aluminum radiator. That's a big plus, as it suggests that the engine has been well maintained and should have plenty of life left in it. The seller also notes that they've replaced the suspension, which is another great sign. A good suspension can make all the difference when it comes to handling and ride quality, so it's nice to know that this Fury has been updated in that regard. Inside, you'll find an aftermarket Kenwood Apple CarPlay stereo system with focal front separate speakers and a 10-focal subwoofer with an amplifier. That's a pretty sweet setup, and it's sure to make your music sound great. However, if you're a purist and prefer the original stereo, the seller is willing to remove the aftermarket system and knock $800 off the price. That's a pretty generous offer, and it's definitely something to consider. Of course, as with any used car purchase, it's always a good idea to get a thorough inspection done before making a final decision. But based on what we're seeing here, this 1966 Plymouth Fury looks like it could be a real gem. The seller mentions that it's been their daily driver and that they love it, which is always a good sign. It suggests that the car has been well cared for and is in good running condition. However, they also note that it doesn't tow their raft, which is why they're selling it. That's a pretty specific reason. But hey, sometimes you just need a car that can haul your toys. Overall, this 1966 Plymouth Fury looks like it could be a real blast to own and drive. With its powerful engine, updated suspension, and sweet stereo system, it's sure to turn heads and put a smile on your face every time you get behind the wheel. And at just $5,000, it seems like a pretty fair price for a classic car in good condition. 5. We're taking a closer look at a 1983 Ford Mustang GLX convertible that's currently up for grabs on Craigslist. This beauty is being offered at a price of $12,150, and let me tell you, it might just be worth every penny. First off, can we talk about the mileage on this thing? Only 37,156 miles. That's incredibly low for a car that's almost 40 years old. It's clear that this Mustang has been well cared for throughout its life. The seller mentions that they purchased the car from the original owner back in June of 2022, and they've got the paperwork to prove it. That's always a good sign, as it suggests that the car has been in good hands and hasn't been passed around from owner to owner. Now let's talk about the condition of this Mustang. The seller describes it as excellent, and based on the details provided, I'm inclined to believe them. The car has its original paint and interior, which is pretty impressive for a vehicle of this age. The seller also mentions that there's no rust, which is a big plus for any classic car. Under the hood, you'll find a 3.8L V6 engine paired with an automatic transmission. The seller has recently serviced the car, including a tune-up, carb overhaul, and oil and filter change. That's great news, as it suggests that the car is in good running condition and ready to hit the road. Inside, you'll find a host of features that were pretty high-end back in 1983. We're talking power steering, power brakes, a tilt wheel, cruise control, and even a factory stereo with a cassette player and amp booster. The car also has a leather-wrapped steering wheel and full instrument gauges, which add to the premium feel. Other notable features include a power top, cold air conditioning, and a set of factory wire wheel covers. The seller also mentions that the car comes with a new top with a rear glass window, as well as a top boot and carpeted floor mats. Perhaps most importantly, the seller notes that this Mustang has had no accidents and comes with a clean Carfax report. That's a huge plus, as it suggests that the car has been well maintained and hasn't been in any major collisions. Overall, this 1983 Ford Mustang GLX convertible looks like it could be a real gem. With its low mileage, excellent condition, and host of premium features, it's the kind of car that any Mustang enthusiast would be proud to own. And while the asking price of $12,950 might seem a bit steep at first glance, it's actually pretty reasonable when you consider the car's rarity and condition. 6. We've got a real treat for you. A 1979 Cadillac Coupe de Ville that's up for grabs on Craigslist. This beauty is being offered at a price of $10,000, and let me tell you, it might just be worth every penny. First off, can we talk about the condition of this Cadillac? The seller describes it as excellent, and based on the details provided, it's easy to see why. The brown paint is said to be in great condition, which is pretty impressive for a car that's over 40 years old. And with only 124,000 miles on the odometer, this Coupe de Ville has plenty of life left in it. Under the hood, you'll find a massive 425 big block motor that's sure to turn heads wherever you go. Paired with an automatic transmission, this Cadillac is a real cruiser that's perfect for long drives and weekend getaways. Inside, you'll find a luxurious leather interior that's befitting of a classic Cadillac. The seller doesn't provide too many details about the interior, but based on the car's overall condition, it's safe to assume that it's in good shape. One of the standout features of this Coupe de Ville is its classic high-rise chrome grille. It's the kind of detail that really sets this car apart from the crowd and gives it that unmistakable Cadillac look. The seller also mentions that the car has airbag suspension, which is a nice touch. It ensures a smooth ride and helps to preserve the car's classic stance. Other notable features include a new battery and new tires, which suggests that the seller has been taking good care of this Cadillac. It's always a good sign when a seller has invested in new parts and maintenance, as it shows that they care about the car and want it to be in top condition for the next owner. Of course, as with any used car purchase, it's always a good idea to get a thorough inspection done before making a final decision. But based on what we're seeing here, this 1979 Cadillac Coupe de Ville looks like it could be a real gem. The asking price of $10,000 might seem a bit steep at first glance, but when you consider the car's excellent condition, low mileage, and classic features, it starts to look like a pretty fair deal. The seller is firm on the price and isn't interested in trades, which suggests that they know what they have and aren't willing to compromise. One thing to keep in mind is that this car is located in Aurora, Colorado. If you're not local to the area, you'll need to factor in the cost of transportation when considering the overall price. Overall, this 1979 Cadillac Coupe de Ville looks like it could be a real winner. With its classic style, excellent condition, and low mileage, it's the kind of car that any enthusiast would be proud to own. And while the price might be a bit high for some, it's clear that this Cadillac is a special car that's worth the investment. 7. We've got a real treat for you. A 1974 Chevrolet Camaro that's been lovingly cared for and is now looking for a new home. This classic beauty is being offered at a price of $11,000, and from what the seller tells us, it's worth every penny. Now, I know what you might be thinking. A car that old? It must be in rough shape. But let me tell you, that couldn't be further from the truth. The seller has been upfront and honest about the condition of this Camaro, and they've assured us that it's in excellent shape. Sure, there's some wear on the front seats, but that's to be expected with a car that's been around for almost 5 decades. Under the hood, you'll find a powerful 8-cylinder engine that runs like a dream. The seller mentions that the car sat in a garage for about 3 years due to the previous owner's illness, but don't let that deter you. They've recently invested close to $5,000 in prepping this Camaro for sale, including new tires, a thorough wiring check, a new battery, alternator, starter, and more. And they've got the receipts to prove it. The exterior of this Camaro is a stunning red that's sure to turn heads wherever you go. And the best part? There's no body damage or mold in the interior, so you can feel confident that you're getting a solid car. Now, the seller is pretty firm on the price, and they're not interested in any payment plans or trades. But can you blame them? With a car this nice, they know what they've got, and they're not willing to compromise. They've even got a vehicle history report, Carfax, and window sticker to give you extra peace of mind. So, if you're serious about owning a piece of American muscle car history, give the seller a call or shoot them an email to set up a time to see this beauty in person. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. 8. We're taking a closer look at a stunning 1963 Mercury Monterey that's currently up for grabs on Craigslist. This beauty is priced at just $7,000, and let me tell you, it's an absolute steal. Now, I know some of you might be skeptical about a car that's almost 60 years old, but trust me when I say that this Monterey is in excellent condition. The seller has been completely upfront about the state of the car, and they've assured us that it runs like a dream. Under the hood, you'll find a powerful 390 big block engine that's sure to get your heart racing. And with only 59,000 original miles on the odometer, this car has plenty of life left in it. The seller has even gone the extra mile and installed new tires, a new top end, and a new water pump so you can feel confident that this car is ready to hit the road. One of the coolest things about this Monterey is that almost all of the original accessories still work. That's right, you'll be able to enjoy all the vintage features that made this car so special back in the day. And if you're a fan of the color blue, you're in luck. This Monterey sports a beautiful blue paint job that's sure to turn heads wherever you go. Now, I know some of you might be wondering about the title status. Yes, it's listed as rebuilt, but don't let that scare you away. The seller has been transparent about this, and it's not uncommon for classic cars to have a rebuilt title. What's important is that the car runs amazingly well and is in excellent condition overall. As an added bonus, the seller is even including some extra parts with the sale. So, if you're a DIY kind of person or just want some peace of mind knowing you have spare parts on hand, this is definitely a plus. And the best part? The seller is willing to negotiate on the price. They're asking $7,000, but they've made it clear that there's room for bargaining. So, if you're serious about owning a piece of classic car history, now's your chance. In conclusion, if you're in the market for a vintage ride that's sure to impress, look no further than this 1963 Mercury Monterey. With its powerful engine, low mileage, and excellent condition, this car is a true gem. Don't miss out on this opportunity to own a piece of automotive history. 9. We've got a real treat for you, a 1964 Chevrolet Biscayne Impala that's sure to turn heads and get your heart racing. This beauty is up for sale on Craigslist for just $12,000, and let me tell you, it's worth every penny. Now, I know what you might be thinking. A car that's almost 60 years old must have some issues, right? Well, the seller has been completely upfront about the condition of this Biscayne, and they've assured us that it runs great with no issues whatsoever. In fact, they've put a lot of work into this car to make sure it's in top shape. Under the hood, you'll find a straight inline-six engine with only 90,000 original miles. That's right, this car has been well maintained and cared for over the years, and it shows. The seller even mentions that they're the second owner, which is a testament to how much this car has been loved. But the upgrades don't stop there. The seller has installed a new radiator with Champion dual fans to keep the engine running cool and smooth. They've also added new wheels and tires that cost a whopping $3,000 alone. And if you're a fan of classic styling with modern touches, you'll love the new Halo LED lights and full stereo system. Inside, you'll find a completely new interior that's been refreshed and updated. And with a 3-speed manual transmission on the tree, you'll feel like you're driving a piece of history every time you get behind the wheel. Now, the seller does mention that there is a little bit of rust on the car, which is to be expected with a vehicle of this age. However, they've assured us that it's been repaired, and is nothing to worry about. And with new shocks, brakes, belt, plugs, and a recent oil change, you can feel confident that this car is ready to hit the road. The seller is firm on their asking price of $12,000, and they're only selling the car to buy their daughter a new vehicle. They're not interested in any trades unless you happen to have a two-door Cadillac Coupe de Ville lying around. And please, serious inquiries only, the seller doesn't want to waste anyone's time. In conclusion, if you're looking for a classic car that's been well-maintained, updated, and loved, look no further than this 1964 Chevrolet Biscayne Impala. With its powerful engine, new upgrades, and vintage styling, this car is sure to turn heads and make you the envy of every car enthusiast in town. Don't miss out on this opportunity to own a piece of automotive history. 10. We've got something really special for you. A 1979 Ford Fairmont pickup that's sure to turn heads and get your heart racing. This beauty is up for sale on Craigslist for just $8,500, and let me tell you, it's a real gem. Now I know what you might be thinking. A pickup truck from the late 70s might not be everyone's cup of tea. But trust me when I say that this Fairmont is in good condition and has been well maintained over the years. The seller has been upfront about the state of the vehicle, and they've assured us that it's a solid ride. Under the hood, you'll find a reliable 6-cylinder engine that's ready to take you wherever you need to go. And with only 89,000 miles on the odometer, this truck has plenty of life left in it. The seller has even included a custom-made cover to keep the Fairmont protected when it's not in use. But the real standout feature of this truck is the interior. The red interior is sure to turn heads and make you feel like you're driving something truly special. And if you're a fan of vintage technology, you'll love the 8-track player that's included. It's a real blast from the past. The Fairmont also comes equipped with air conditioning, which is a real bonus for a vehicle of this age. You'll be able to stay cool and comfortable even on the hottest days of summer. Now, I know that the price tag of $8,500 might seem a bit steep for a pickup truck from the 70s, but when you consider the good condition of this vehicle, the low mileage, and the unique features like the red interior and 8-track player, it's actually a really fair price. Plus, the seller has assured us that the title is clean, so you can feel confident in your purchase. Of course, as with any vehicle of this age, there may be some minor issues or quirks that come with the territory. But overall, this 1979 Ford Fairmont pickup is a real find and a great opportunity for anyone who loves classic vehicles or is looking for a reliable and stylish truck. So if you're in the market for something a little different and a lot of fun, don't hesitate to reach out to the seller and schedule a test drive. This Fairmont pickup is sure to bring a smile to your face every time you get behind the wheel. Don't miss out on this chance to own a piece of automotive history. 11. We've got a real piece of American muscle car history for you. A 1966 Dodge Charger that's just waiting for the right person to bring it back to its former glory. This beauty is up for sale on Craigslist for $10,000, and while it may not be in perfect condition, it's got a ton of potential. Now, I want to be upfront with you. This Charger is a project car. It's been sitting for a long time, and it's going to need some work to get it back on the road. The seller has been very honest about the condition of the vehicle, and they've provided a detailed description of what needs to be done. First off, the car doesn't run or drive at the moment, and the condition of the engine is unknown. It's got a small block V8 and an automatic transmission on the floor, but it's going to need some TLC to get it running again. The floorboards have rust holes and will need to be repaired or replaced, and there's a rust hole on the bottom left driver's side front fender. But don't let that discourage you. This Charger has a ton of potential, and with the right amount of time and effort, it could be a real showstopper. The glass is all there, and while the dash has some minor rust, it's nothing that can't be fixed. The interior and seats will need to be cleaned and restored, and some of the window winders and door handles may need some lubrication to get them working again. Now, I do want to mention that the car will not be sold with the mag wheels and tires shown in the pictures. It will come with steel-type wheels and tires instead. And as with any project car, there may be some miscellaneous parts missing or broken, so be prepared for that. But here's the thing. This 1966 Dodge Charger is a piece of history. It's a proud old muscle car that's just waiting for someone to bring it back to life. And when it's restored, it's sure to turn heads and attract attention wherever it goes. So if you're up for a challenge and have a passion for classic cars, this Charger could be the perfect project for you. It's going to take some work, but the end result will be worth it. And at $10,000, it's a great price for a car with this much potential. In conclusion, if you're looking for a classic muscle car project that you can really sink your teeth into, this 1966 Dodge Charger is definitely worth considering. It may not be in perfect condition, but with the right amount of time, effort, and love, it could be a real gem. Don't miss out on this opportunity to own a piece of American automotive history. 12. We've got a real treat for you. A stunning 1972 Buick Riviera that's ready to hit the road and turn heads wherever it goes. This beauty is up for sale on Craigslist for just $12,900, and let me tell you, it's worth every penny. Now, I know some of you might be skeptical about buying a car that's almost 50 years old, but trust me when I say that this Riviera has been lovingly restored and is in fantastic condition. The seller has been completely upfront about the state of the car, and they've assured us that it runs and drives like a dream. Under the hood, you'll find a rebuilt 455 engine that purrs like a kitten. This powerhouse has been expertly restored and is ready to take you on all kinds of adventures. And with new wheels and tires, you'll be able to cruise in style and comfort. But the upgrades don't stop there. The seller has gone above and beyond to make sure that this Riviera is in top shape. They've installed all new weather seals and door felts to keep the elements out, and they've even added sound deadening throughout the entire car to ensure a quiet and comfortable ride. Inside, you'll find new seats, gauges, and carpet that make the interior feel like a brand new car. And with all the interior trim and panels included, you'll be able to put the finishing touches on this already stunning vehicle. Now, I do want to mention that there are a few small detail items that still need to be finished up. But the seller has assured us that they have all the necessary parts, including the exterior trim and door handles, to get the job done. And with the car already registered and a clear Nevada title in the seller's name, you can feel confident in your purchase. But here's the best part. This Riviera is ready for the hot August weather. Imagine cruising down the street on a warm summer day, turning heads and making everyone jealous with your classic ride. It's the kind of car that's sure to be the talk of the town. So if you're in the market for a vintage car that's been lovingly restored and is ready to hit the road, look no further than this 1972 Buick Riviera. With its powerful engine, stylish upgrades, and stunning good looks, this car is the total package. Don't miss out on the opportunity to own a piece of American automotive history. Give the seller a call today and make this beauty yours. 13. We've got something really special for you. A 1982 Buick Riviera convertible that's in absolutely stunning condition. This beauty is up for sale on Craigslist for just $9,150, and let me tell you, it's an absolute steal. Now, I know what you might be thinking. A car that's over 40 years old must have some issues, right? Well, the seller has been completely upfront about the condition of this Riviera, and they've assured us that it's in great shape. In fact, they've described it as being like new, and when you see the pictures, you'll understand why. His Riviera has been owned by just one person since it was new, and it's always been kept in a garage. That means it's been protected from the elements and has been lovingly cared for over the years. And with only 64,000 original miles on the odometer, this car has plenty of life left in it. Under the hood, you'll find a powerful V8 engine that's ready to take you wherever you need to go. And with an automatic transmission and air conditioning, you'll be able to cruise in comfort and style. The seller even mentions that this car has never been smoked in and has never had any pets inside, so you can feel confident that the interior is in great shape. But the real standout feature of this Riviera is the convertible top. There's nothing quite like cruising down the road on a warm summer day with the top down and the wind in your hair. And with power windows and power door locks, you'll have all the modern conveniences you need to make your driving experience as enjoyable as possible. Now, I know that the price tag of $9,150 might seem a bit steep for a car from the 80s. But when you consider the incredible condition of this Riviera, the low mileage, and the fact that it's a convertible, it's actually a really fair price. Plus, the seller has assured us that the title is clean, so you can feel confident in your purchase. Of course, as with any vehicle of this age, there may be some minor issues or quirks that come with the territory. But overall, this 1982 Buick Riviera convertible is an absolute gem and a rare find in today's market. So if you're in the market for a classic car that's been well maintained, has low mileage, and is ready to hit the road, don't hesitate to reach out to the seller and schedule a test drive. This Riviera is sure to turn heads and make you the envy of every car enthusiast in town. Don't miss out on this chance to own a piece of automotive history. 14. We've got a real diamond in the rough for you. A 1960 Ford Falcon in a beautiful mint green color. This car is up for sale on Craigslist for just $4,000 or best offer, and while it may not be in perfect condition, it's got a ton of potential for the right buyer. Now, I want to be completely upfront with you. This Falcon is a non-running, unfinished project car. It's going to need some work to get it back on the road, and the seller has been very honest about that in their description. The odometer is broken, so we don't know the actual mileage, but based on the car's age, it's safe to assume it's seen some miles over the years. But here's the thing. This Falcon has a lot of great features that make it worth considering, even in its current state. The interior has been reupholstered in recent years, which is a big plus. And while there is definitely work to be done on the exterior and under the hood, the bones of this car are solid. The seller has provided plenty of pictures to give you a good idea of what you're getting into. It's clear that this Falcon is going to need some TLC to get it back to its former glory, but for the right person with the skills and patience to take on a project like this, it could be an incredibly rewarding experience. One thing to keep in mind is that this car is not in driving condition, so you'll need to bring a trailer to transport it to your home or shop. But once you get it there, the possibilities are endless. You could restore it to its original condition, or you could customize it and make it your own unique creation. At just $4,000 or best offer, this 1960 Ford Falcon is a great opportunity for someone who loves classic cars and isn't afraid of a little hard work. Sure, it may not be the easiest project to take on, but the end result could be truly spectacular. So if you're up for the challenge and have a vision for what this Falcon could become, don't hesitate to reach out to the seller and make an offer. Who knows? You could be the one to bring this classic beauty back to life and turn it into the car of your dreams. Just remember to bring a trailer and be prepared to put in some elbow grease. 15. We've got a real treat for you. A 1985 Chevrolet Corvette that's ready to hit the road and turn heads wherever it goes. This beauty is up for sale on Craigslist for just $3,500, and let me tell you, it's an absolute steal. Now, I know some of you might be skeptical about buying a car that's almost 40 years old, but trust me when I say that this Corvette has been well maintained and is in good condition. The seller has been completely upfront about the state of the car, and they've assured us that it runs and drives great. Under the hood, you'll find a powerful 8-cylinder engine that's ready to take you on all kinds of adventures. And with an automatic transmission, power steering, and power brakes, you'll be able to cruise in comfort and style. The seller even mentions that this Corvette gets an impressive 23 to 26 miles per gallon, which is great news for your wallet. But the fun doesn't stop there. This Corvette comes with a removable top, so you can enjoy the wind in your hair on those warm summer days. And with an AM/FM CD radio, you'll be able to jam out to your favorite tunes while you're cruising down the highway. Inside, you'll find a comfortable cloth interior that's in great shape. And with only 90,000 miles on the odometer, this Corvette has plenty of life left in it. The seller has even provided a clean title, so you can feel confident in your purchase. Now, I do want to mention that, as with any vehicle of this age, there may be some minor issues or quirks that come with the territory. But overall, this 1985 Chevrolet Corvette is a fantastic find, and a great opportunity for anyone who loves classic sports cars. And at just $3,500, it's an absolute bargain. You'd be hard-pressed to find another Corvette in this condition at such a low price. So if you're in the market for a fun and affordable sports car, this is definitely one to consider. In conclusion, if you're looking for a classic Corvette that's been well maintained, runs great, and won't break the bank, this 1985 model is definitely worth checking out. With its powerful engine, comfortable interior, and removable top, it's the perfect car for cruising around town or hitting the open road. Don't miss out on this opportunity to own a piece of American automotive history. Give the seller a call today and make this beauty yours. 16. We've got a real gem for you. A 1953 Mercury Monterey that's sure to turn heads and get your heart racing. This beauty is up for sale on Craigslist for $15,000. And let me tell you, it's worth every penny. Now, I know what you might be thinking. A car that's almost 70 years old must have some issues, right? Well, the seller has been completely upfront about the condition of this Monterey. And while it may not be in perfect condition, it's clear that it's been well maintained over the years. Under the hood, you'll find the original flathead motor that still runs and drives like a dream. The seller has even made some recent upgrades, including new motor mounts, a new water pump, and a new gas tank. And with power steering and power brakes, you'll be able to cruise in comfort and style. But that's not all. This Monterey also has a fairly new radiator, which is great news for anyone who wants to take this beauty out on the open road. And with 90,000 miles on the odometer and a clean title, you can feel confident that this car has plenty of life left in it. Now, I do want to mention that the seller is open to trades for something of equal value. So if you've got a classic car or another vehicle that you think might be a good fit, don't hesitate to reach out and make an offer. Of course, as with any vehicle of this age, there may be some minor issues or quirks that come with the territory. But overall, this 1953 Mercury Monterey is a fantastic find and a great opportunity for anyone who loves classic cars. And at $15,000, it's priced fairly for a car of this caliber. Sure, it may not be the cheapest classic car out there, but when you consider the recent upgrades, the original flathead motor, and the overall condition of the vehicle, it's clear that this Monterey is a solid investment. So if you're in the market for a classic car that's sure to turn heads and get people talking, this 1953 Mercury Monterey is definitely worth considering. With its timeless style, recent upgrades, and original features, it's the kind of car that you'll be proud to own and drive for years to come. In conclusion, if you're looking for a classic car that's been well maintained, has plenty of life left in it, and is priced fairly, this 1953 Mercury Monterey is definitely worth checking out. Don't miss out on the opportunity to own a piece of automotive history. Give the seller a call today and see if this beauty is the right fit for you. 17. We've got something really special for you. A 1979 Lincoln Town Car Continental that's in absolutely incredible condition. This beauty is up for sale on Craigslist for $12,000, and let me tell you, it's worth every penny. Now, I know what you might be thinking. A car that's over 40 years old must have some issues, right? Well, the seller has been completely upfront about the condition of this town car, and they've described it as being like new. And when you see the pictures and read the description, you'll understand why. This town car has been meticulously maintained over the years, and it shows. With only 58,564 miles on the odometer, it's clear that this car has been lovingly cared for by its previous owners. The seller even mentions that they still drive it when they get a chance, which is a testament to how well it runs. Under the hood, you'll find a powerful V8 engine that's paired with an automatic transmission. And let me tell you, this car is loaded with features. Everything works perfectly, from the air conditioning and cruise control to the power windows and antenna. Even the Cartier clock is in perfect working order. But the real standout feature of this town car is the condition of the exterior and interior. The paint is in fantastic shape, with no bubbles or rust anywhere. The seller even mentions that they recently spent $1,000 on hand polishing and ceramic coating, which has left the car looking absolutely stunning. There are a few paint chips on the front, but those are minor and don't detract from the overall beauty of this vehicle. Inside, the interior is just as impressive. The seats and carpets are in excellent condition, with no stains or rips anywhere. It's clear that this car has been well maintained and cared for over the years. Now, I know that the price tag of $12,000 might seem a bit steep for a car from the 70s. But when you consider the incredible condition of this town car, the low mileage, and the fact that it's loaded with features, it's actually a really fair price. Plus, the seller has assured us that the title is clean, so you can feel confident in your purchase. The seller even mentions that they wouldn't hesitate to drive this car cross-country, which is a testament to how well it runs and how confident they are in its reliability. And while they enjoy driving it, they simply have no use for it anymore, which is why they've decided to sell. So if you're in the market for a classic car that's in incredible condition, has low mileage, and is loaded with features, this 1979 Lincoln Town Car Continental is definitely worth considering. Don't miss out on the opportunity to own a piece of automotive history that you can actually drive and enjoy. Give the seller a call today and schedule a test drive. You won't be disappointed. 18. We've got a real project car for you, a 1977 Ford Ranchero that's up for sale on Craigslist for just $4,250. Now, I want to be completely upfront with you. This car is definitely going to need some work, but for the right person, it could be an incredible opportunity to own a piece of classic American automotive history. The seller has been very honest about the condition of this Ranchero, and they've made it clear that it's a project car. It has a prior salvage title, which means it's been in an accident or sustained some kind of damage in the past. But don't let that scare you off. The seller has assured us that the car has been on the road and has current plates. Now let's talk about what this Ranchero needs. The seller mentions that the parking brake and instrument cluster will need to be fixed in order for it to pass inspection. They also note that there's no air conditioning and the power steering has a leak, although it still works. These are all things to keep in mind if you're considering taking on this project. But here's the thing. This Ranchero has a ton of potential. The seller mentions that it has an aftermarket exhaust system and had its brakes done less than a year ago. And while the odometer is broken, the seller has been upfront about that as well. The exterior of this Ranchero is a beautiful orange color that's sure to turn heads wherever you go. And while there's definitely some work to be done to make it pretty, the bones of this car are solid. So, who is this Ranchero right for? Well, if you're someone who loves classic cars and isn't afraid of a little hard work, this could be the perfect project for you. It's going to take some time and effort to get it back into top shape, but the end result could be truly spectacular. And at just $4,250, this Ranchero is priced to sell. Sure, you'll need to invest some money into fixing it up, but when you consider the potential resale value of a fully restored Ranchero, it could be a smart investment in the long run. In conclusion, if you're looking for a classic car project that won't break the bank, this 1977 Ford Ranchero is definitely worth considering. It's going to need some work, but the seller has been upfront about what needs to be done. And with its beautiful orange exterior and solid bones, this Ranchero has the potential to be a real head-turner once it's fully restored. So if you're up for the challenge and have a passion for classic cars, don't hesitate to reach out to the seller and see if this Ranchero is the right fit for you. 19. We've got a real classic for you. A 1974 Ford Mustang that's up for grabs on Craigslist for just $4,000. Now, I want to be straight with you. This car is going to need a little bit of work to get it back into tip-top shape, but for the right person, it could be an incredible opportunity to own a piece of American muscle car history. The seller has been upfront about the condition of this Mustang, and they've described it as being in good condition overall. It's got a 6-cylinder engine under the hood and an automatic transmission, which makes it a great choice for cruising around town or hitting the open road. Now, let's talk about what this Mustang needs. The seller mentions that it ran fantastic up until last winter, but after sitting for a few months, it's running a little rough. They note that it needs a new power steering pump, windshield, tires, and a few other minor things. These are all relatively easy fixes for someone with a little bit of mechanical know-how, but they're definitely things to keep in mind if you're considering taking on this project. But here's the thing, this Mustang has a ton of potential. It's got just 3,337 miles on the odometer, which is incredibly low for a car of this age. And the seller has all the original paperwork from when it was purchased back in 1974, which is a real bonus for any classic car enthusiast. The exterior of this Mustang is a beautiful brown color that's sure to turn heads wherever you go. And while there may be a few minor imperfections here and there, the overall condition of the car is solid. So, who is this Mustang right for? Well, if you're someone who loves classic cars and isn't afraid of a little bit of work, this could be the perfect project for you. It's going to take some time and effort to get it back into top shape, but the end result could be truly spectacular. And at just $4,000, this Mustang is priced to sell. Sure, you'll need to invest some money into fixing it up, but when you consider the potential resale value of a fully restored 1974 Mustang, it could be a smart investment in the long run. One thing to keep in mind is that this Mustang is being sold as is, which means that you'll be responsible for any repairs or upgrades that need to be made. But if you're handy with tools and have a passion for classic cars, this could be a really fun and rewarding project to take on. In conclusion, if you're looking for a classic Mustang project that won't break the bank, this 1974 model is definitely worth considering. It's going to need some work, but the seller has been upfront about what needs to be done. And with its low mileage, original paperwork, and solid overall condition, this Mustang has the potential to be a real gem once it's fully restored. So if you're up for the challenge and have a love for American muscle cars, don't hesitate to reach out to the seller and see if this Mustang is the right fit for you. 20. We've got a real treat for you. A 1966 Oldsmobile Cutlass that's up for grabs on Craigslist. This beauty is a true project car, ready for someone to give it the love and attention it deserves. The seller is asking $8,900 for this classic ride, and let me tell you, it's worth every penny. Now, I know what you might be thinking. But wait, isn't this car a project? What's the catch? Well, let me give you the rundown. The seller has been pretty upfront about the condition of this Cutlass. It's a project car, no doubt about it. But here's the thing. Most of the hard metal work is already done. That's right, the heavy lifting has been taken care of, so you can focus on the fun stuff. Under the hood, you'll find a rebuilt 350 Oldsmobile V8 engine that's ready to roar. The car currently has a turbo 350 transmission, but the seller is also throwing in a Muncie 4-speed manual transmission, giving you options for your build. Plus, with power steering and disc brakes, this Cutlass is ready to hit the road in style. The interior and exterior are both rocking a sweet red color scheme, and the car even has a bench seat for that classic feel. And get this, the car was originally a 250 six-cylinder with a power glide transmission and a radio delete. Talk about a rare find. Now, I want to be straight with you. The seller has lost shop space, which means this car needs to find a new home ASAP, but that just means it's your lucky day, and the seller is being clear. No scammers, no joyrides, and no tire kickers. This car is for serious buyers only. So there you have it, folks. A 1966 Oldsmobile Cutlass project car that's ready for its next chapter. With most of the hard work already done and some sweet features like a rebuilt engine and transmission options, this car is a steal at $8,900. Don't miss out on this opportunity to own a piece of American muscle car history. As always, happy hunting and stay tuned for more killer Craigslist finds.